So I gave a warning out yesterday saying it looks like the market's about to start to pull back a bit, and we're about to break down through this support level that I got here in the markets, and that's exactly what's happened. So you know what? Bloodbath is here we come. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so the really interesting thing that I really want to share with you and show you here is that the big thing that's happening right now in the markets is there is a bloodbath coming in the markets, and it's going to freak people out even more. Now, here's the really interesting thing that I think about when it comes to these markets here, okay? The first thing that I want to sort of share with you is this, okay? The first thing is this, is that we did rally down. We had a movement on the downside through here. And then what happened is we rallied back up, and now we hit one top, came down, bit of a bottom, double top, and then yesterday I did a video saying it looks like we're about to start to make a move on the downside. So what happened here was you can see how this market actually broke down through here, and now it's actually closed below there. So this double top is in play, and now we're getting sort of on a short-term basis. If I bring up the absolute short-term basis here, you can see how if I draw my trend line from there to there, you can see how this was actually a bit of a fake out. You can see it rejection. We broke out, and as you can see, it actually was a fake out, and then we actually dropped back down. And we've actually got a couple of support lines here we're breaking down now. We have support here, support here, support. We actually broke down, came back up, hit resistance, came down, hit support, came back up, hit resistance, and now we're actually breaking back to the downside. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see this whole the bloodbath in the markets to continue and actually possibly even break a new low. So you can see we're at that level now. I don't need that anymore, and you can see how it's actually broken this overall support level. There is indeed a major support level down through where it came down before. I would not be too surprised to see this market come down and flush below the 4,350 level. Okay, so yeah, there are two schools of thoughts here when you're looking at this. What I'm talking about right now is short-term TA. What I'm about to say is what I believe is going to be happening by the middle of this year. Short-term TA, we're about to break a new low, and you can break these two things up. Okay, over the next maybe week or so, we're probably likely to start to make a new low. Okay, that's the next week. Over the next 4 or 5 months, we're likely to be making a new high and having an extraordinary quality move to the upside. And I believe we're getting very close to seeing a significant move in the markets. But we haven't gotten there yet. And the big thing that I'm watching out for, the real big thing that I'm keeping an eye out for in the markets, and this is a big thing, traders. If you're looking to see where's this likely to be at, if we continue to get some more bloodbath in the markets, like we continue to break down, which we're probably going to, you can see here even on the hourly chart we're actually broken down now. So any rally here is probably likely to be short-lived before we actually drop back down. So on that, the big thing that I'm looking out for is this thing right here. And this is called the Fear and Greed Index. Okay, the Fear and Greed Index. Now, this Fear and Greed Index, you can see how it gives you a really bit of a barometer of where things are at and so on and so forth. Now, I believe that there's more downside to come, and one of the reasons why was I actually did a video a few weeks ago. Actually, no. I think it was last week, and I said that I'm expecting an extraordinary quality move. I'm expecting new highs to come and a big blow off top. Okay. Here's the thing, though. I don't know when that's going to happen. That could happen in the second half of this year. I don't know when that's going to happen. Okay, that's my overall projection for this year. Now, the initial phases. Okay, the initial phases of short term is that's what I'm talking about here, right? Short term. But when I actually did a video I think a few days ago saying that's what I'm expecting, a big blow off top, I had some people say in the chat box that, oh no, John, you know, everyone knows that that's coming. And I'm like, And this is where you have to be a contrarian in the market. It's so important. And this is why it's hard for a lot of people to see where we are in the cycle of things as well too. Just on TA, but also the cycle of things, right? So as soon as I saw comment after comment after comment, it's like, no, John, everyone knows this market's going to blow off and then we're going to see a 5,500. Everyone knows that. And I'm like, So if everyone knows that, we're probably due for more pullback to shake some of those weak hands out, because we haven't actually shaken those weak hands out much yet. And one of the big things that tell me we're about to shake those weak hands out is this. Is once we actually start to get continuation of this movement on the downside and we get a bit more of a fall through the floor, what's probably likely to happen is we're going to get this fear and greed index, as you can see. This fear and greed index, right now we're at fear, right? There's a lot of fear in the market. So we're probably likely to get down here to the extreme fear. And it's going to be really, really interesting. Look at this here. So the more we actually sell off, the more fear that's going to kick into play. And if we can start to get below the 20, especially if we start to get this, if the market starts to do this, right, like that, and then we start to get this on the fear and greed index, and we get down there. If we get something like this, where the fear is like basically right at maximum extreme fear, guess what? Guess when a good time is probably they're likely to get into the markets, right? So if we're selling off through here and we start to get like down the bottom here to almost, we're probably looking at, this is from 0 to 100. If we get down to here, it looks like it got down to maybe like a 1 or a 2 or something. And as you can see, that was the bottom. Now, not the exact day, right? It took a few weeks for this thing to sort out, and then we started to make our way back up, and that's when the market rallied, right? And then we got back up to here. And then we've done this ever since. So that's what I'm seeing there, guys, in the markets right now. And that's what I'm seeing happening moving forward in these markets. I really do see that this more the bloodbath in these markets is likely to continue. And if I go look at the other indices, such as the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq's rolling over as well too, as you can see. So we had probably this going on through here, and we did get a breaking of that low through there. So I wouldn't be too surprised. That's actually probably nothing there. So I wouldn't be too surprised. You can actually see, look, that's actually a major rejection at that resistance level too. Double top. Okay, so you can see there's actually a resistance, support. Nasdaq ran up, 1 top, 2 top, and then now we've actually pulled back here. So now we're pulling back through here. I would expect to see this double top. I would expect to see a bit more of a flush to the downside. Moving on now through to the Dow Jones as well too. And the Dow Jones is actually, it's probably that through there now. The Dow Jones is actually, it's actually not too bad. We actually got a pretty strong rally through here. Now we're getting a breakdown through here. So we're still really stuck in this overall sideways range on the Dow Jones. So that's what I'm seeing through there, traders. Overall, we can see things like the IWM as well too. This is probably going to start to get hit pretty hard as well. I actually had a very bullish call through here, and it completely faked out, and then that was that. It completely ended. So we did actually have a big move through here. Now look what's happening, right? Look what's happened just recently. We had sideways, we broke down. Now we're rallying back up, and now we're getting a sort of a movement to the upside through here. So I wouldn't be too surprised to start to see the Russell start to have a bit more of a fall through the floor, and it come back down to maybe around the 170 level in the market. You can see how it actually came back up and rejected it, and now we're actually rejecting right at this resistance level, and now we're starting to get this downward trend. We're actually starting to trend now on the Russell. So we went from really not much going on, no one in control, to now making lower highs, another lower high. We're probably likely to roll over here soon and start to make a movement on the downside. So traders, when I first started trading, I lost $250,000 trading the markets. And then I got access to a few 7-figure mentors that really set me straight on what I need to do with the foundations, how to read the charts, the trading systems, the mindset, so on and so forth. And then that was the massive turning point for me to be doing really well from actual trading and being successful trading. So what I've done is I've created a course called the Breakthrough Course. And what I've done is I've actually put a whole bunch of really good education and strategies and processes that help me go from $250,000 in debt to then actually becoming a full-time trader, making a full-time income from trading. And I'm actually running a flash sale to that trading course. So if you go to johnsflashsale.com, or there should be a link in the description. If there's not, then go to johnsflashsale.com. That's JOHNS flashsale.com. Go to johnsflashsale.com and you'll be able to get access to this course now for $7. So go get access to that right now, guys, and I'll see you real soon.